Okay, let's just dive right in. You've seen the headlines, I've seen the headlines, they are everywhere. AI is coming for our jobs. There's so much uncertainty swirling around, and it's hard to ignore. It can be a little unsettling, for sure. But what if those scary headlines are only telling like half the story? What if there's a much bigger, way more interesting picture? Today, we're going to push past all that noise and really dig into the incredible opportunities that AI is actually creating. And more importantly, how you can get yourself right in the middle of them. Now, the insights we're talking about today come from a really sharp analysis by R.W. Martin called, fittingly, Beyond the Headlines. And it lays out this powerful way of looking at this whole tech shift, not as something to fear, but as a moment full of possibilities. So let's get to the main idea here, which is all about transformation, not elimination. This is the key to understanding how AI is truly redefining what it means to work. This is the big distinction we need to make. Yeah, of course, AI is automating some routine stuff, think data entry or super basic customer service chats. But that is not the end of the story. It's actually freeing us up, you know? It lets us focus on the complex, creative, high-value work that really, truly needs a human brain. That is the transformation we're talking about. To put this all into perspective, just think about other massive changes in history. When electricity came along, it didn't just replace candles, right? It powered brand new industries. Personal computers didn't just get rid of typewriters. They created jobs we couldn't have even dreamed of. AI is just the next huge wave in that same pattern. So here's a really powerful way to frame this. Think of AI as your co-pilot. It's not trying to kick you out of the cockpit. It's a tool that makes you better. It can handle all the tedious data crunching stuff, freeing up your mind and your time for the things that actually matter. Okay, so if AI is our co-pilot, what do these new jobs actually look like? Where are the real opportunities popping up? Let's take a look. And this is where it gets really exciting. The analysis points to several huge fields that are in super high demand right now. We're talking about data science to make sense of all the information AI finds, AI and machine learning engineering to actually build these incredible systems. And then, of course, you've got critical roles in cybersecurity and cloud computing to make sure it all runs smoothly and safely. And it even goes into specialized areas like blockchain and robotics. Wow, that is quite a list of techie jobs. But it brings up a really fundamental question, doesn't it? If AI is getting so good at all the technical stuff, what's left for us? What are the skills that are just fundamentally human and irreplaceable? Well, here's the cool part. The things that AI can't do, those are becoming our most valuable assets. These are our human superpowers in this new world. And you can forget about calling them soft skills anymore. These are now the critical skills that we bring to the table. So what are these critical assets? Well, they really break down into a few key areas. First, you've got pure ingenuity. That's your creativity, your originality, the kind of complex problem-solving AI just can't do on its own. Then you have your humanity, emotional intelligence, empathy, the ability to collaborate and communicate. And finally, there's judgment. That's your critical thinking, and, super importantly, your ethical reasoning to guide these powerful tools. It's pretty reassuring to know that our humanity is still the thing that matters most, right? So how do you get on this path? How do you actually build these skills and tap into these new careers? I think for a lot of us, the biggest hurdle is just figuring out where to even begin. The great news is you don't have to go back to university for 4 years. Learning is more accessible than it's ever been. You can find these super focused nano degrees on platforms like Udacity for things like AI or robotics. You can get core tech skills from the Linux Foundation, or you can just dive into a massive library of courses on Udemy that covers pretty much, well, everything. And hey, once you start building up those new skills, you have to show them off. Tools like Career.io and Resume.io are designed specifically to help you build a resume and a professional profile that really stand out for these new kinds of roles. They help you speak the language that hiring managers are looking for. So the big takeaway here is actually incredibly optimistic, and it's really empowering. This age of AI is absolutely full of opportunity. The key isn't to be afraid of it, it's to stay curious and just be willing to learn and adapt right along with it. And that really leaves us with one last thought, kind of a personal challenge for you to think about. When you look at your own career, your own passions, your future,
How are you going to use AI as your co-pilot? And how are you going to double down on your own unique human skills to not just shape your own path, but maybe even make the world a little bit better in the process?